Hello, 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 and welcome to today's State of the Launch event, State of the Launch address. Um, Many of you are here in the United States, and you know that we have the State of the Union address. And so this is a play off of that. This is, in fact, the State of the Launch, because many of you are getting ready for Black Friday. And so you want to make sure that you have everything that you need in place so that you're ready to go. So I just want to take a moment and say welcome to the State of the Launch address. My name is Yolanda K. Churchwell, and I am a certified launch manager, a fractional COO, Chief Operating Officer, and founder of the Business Assistance Group, a Done For You agency. Get this stuff out my way. Okay. So at the bag, we help our clients secure their bag by not only providing done for you launch services, but by also partnering with you to enhance your entire client experience from lead generation to onboarding to offboarding, making sure that if you have a virtual or a live sales event, you have everything in place, and then being able to deliver what it is that you promised your clients as well. So we want to talk about timing a little bit. We're getting ready to step right into Q4. We're right next week, as a matter of fact. We're going to be stepping into Q4. This is the last stretch of the year. For some CEOs, this is the quarter that makes their entire revenue goal possible, okay? There's businesses that double their annual revenue in these 3 months because they plan strategically and they launch with intention. There's other businesses, other CEOs that go above and beyond and exceed what they had in place because, again, they plan with strategy and intention. So I wanted to make sure that I came in because the fourth quarter is one of the most popular seasons for launches, whether they're virtual or face-to-face. Whether it's a 60-minute webinar or it's a full 9-day challenge or it's a 3-day live event, okay? And here's the trend. Many live events are now adding virtual sessions. Okay. So that means that you're actually having events within your events. And that requires that you have more things that you take care of on the back end. Okay. And so rather than you getting caught up in the weeds and having to take care of all of those things yourself, I wanted to come in today so that I could help you to be able to answer some of those questions as you plan ahead. And for some of you, to offer you the opportunity to say, you know what, Yolanda, I don't want to do it. Here it is. Please do it for me. All right. So why are some events now adding some bonus trainings or some virtual events? Because it actually adds value. It warms up the audience and it improves your show up rates. You know, we talk many a times about the path of yeses. So it actually increases the yeses. And so that's a strategy that you can actually borrow from. If you are having a live event, don't just think, oh, I'm having a live event, but what can you do up to that event to make sure that your path of yeses are indeed yeses? And I want you to get you prepared in 2025 because I want you to have less to fix in 2026. Okay. So if you've been following my content this month, you will note that last week, as a matter of fact, we looked at Cardi B and we looked at her new Am I the Drama album. And it went less than platinum. It went platinum in less than 24 hours. Okay. That wasn't luck. Okay. That was a launch strategy. Okay. For some of you, I want to make sure that I'm breaking this down so that you understand that as CEOs, what we do is no different than any other product or service launch. Okay. And most of us provide services. And so those launches are service related. But at the end of the day, the steps are not any different. Okay. So while you may not be dropping an album, the same principles apply to your service-based business. Okay. So today I just wanted to take some time and share 4 ways to elevate your launches as we close out the year and head into 2026. I'm going to actually give you an actionable strategy for each one that you can put in place right away. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't have your notebook out, get your notebook out because you want to take notes. This is not going to be one of those quick 5 minutes that that I'm known for. We're going to go in deep a little bit today so that you can make sure that you're prepared for what you want to do. Okay. So again, we're going to jump right in. We have 4 points to cover. So the first one I want to cover is cadence creates anticipation. Okay. Cadence creates anticipation. So powerful launches are built over time. Okay. A lot of people see the event. A lot of people see the book. A lot of people see the membership model. A lot of people see the coaching program and they think that's it. But there's so many things that go on behind the scenes before you get to the actual event, before the book actually comes out, before you step on the stage. Okay. All of these are a part of your back end operations. All of this is a part of what you need to make sure is in place so that you can make sure you're making the best out of the moment that everybody does see. Okay, is that making sense? If that's making sense, drop cadence in the chat. Okay, so Cardi didn't just drop an album. She released singles, she gave fans a taste, and she let momentum grow. Okay, as CEOs, we often either keep our offers a secret until we have the big reveal, or we blast everything at once. You invite somebody to marry you and it's the first date. Okay. Neither one of those works. People in general, audiences need a rhythm. You have to create a rhythm to what it is that you're doing. You have to create a strategic plan. You have to be a visionary and lay things out so that you have a cadence, you have a rhythm to what it is that you do. Okay, let me bring this home a little bit more and draw it to a client story. Okay, let me show you how this worked. So Judy worked with my team on building anticipation for her new offer. Okay, she started with a lead magnet reveal. So up front, she had a lead magnet, and this is what she wanted to talk about. This is what she offered people. Okay, she then also went live on social media and she talked about some things. She answered some questions. She then also regularly posted about current events in a way that tied back to her expertise. Okay, so she was able, in theory, actually, it's kind of like what I'm doing here today with Cardi B. She was able to take something that's in the forefront that everybody knows about and be able to tie that back to what it is that she do. So she created these posts. They stopped the scroll. Some even went viral. Okay. And by the time she dropped her offer at her webinar, she already had the audience leaning in, ready to buy. Is that making sense? Okay. So this is what I want you to do. This is your actionable strategy for point 1 today. I want you to map out three teaser touch points for your next offer. Okay. I'm even going to give you a couple examples of how you could do that, but I want you to map out 3 teaser touch points. 1, you could provide a behind the scenes look at your process. Okay. 2, you can share a client success story and tie that to your upcoming offer. Okay. Or 3, you can post a short Q&A post on social media, whichever platform you play on, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. A lot of people sleep on Pinterest, where you answer a common problem that your service solves. When you do this, people are actually going to be warmed up before your official launch. Okay? Is that making sense? All right, drop teaser in the chat if this is something that you're going to do, okay? Because I want you to take these actionable strategies and put them in place. If you know me, you know that normally when I'm talking about an event, especially if I'm going to be speaking at an event, I challenge you. Don't just take notes, create an action plan. We all got a drawer full of notes, a notebook full of notes, but what we need to make sure that we're doing is we're implementing and we're executing. So make sure that you are creating an action plan. All right. So that's why I share these actionable strategies. So the first one is that you're going to map out 3 teaser touch points for your next offer. All right. Let's move right on to point number 2. Know that experience is everything. Okay? Your experience is everything. They say people don't buy services and products, people buy people. Okay? People don't just buy your services, they buy into the experience. Cardi B created events like the Bodega Baddie pop-up and meet and greets so that her fans could feel her presence. I don't know about you, but I saw where she was out selling the albums on the street, and she said she was a single mother of 3 and she needed to be able to provide for her children. I saw the one where she was out in the middle of the street and she actually had like the little CDs and she was selling them. She created an experience. Like, we were looking to see what she was going to do next, even before we knew that the album was coming. It was, what's she going to do next before the album even gets here? That's what you want to be able to create with your audience, where they are following you, they are invested before you even get to the actual event, before you actually make the offer. They want to know, what's she going to do next? What is he going to say next? That's what they want to know. Okay? This matters for us as CEOs because your experiences are what set you apart. We're in an age where attention is limited and competition is everywhere. And as we gear up for Black Friday, it's going to be harder to find your blue ocean. Okay? You can post graphics all day long, but if you want people to remember you, you have to create moments. Okay? You have to create moments. Think about how the event world has changed. Okay? During the pandemic, baby, people was in the clubhouse. You could have a virtual event and fill it up within hours of announcing it. But we back outside now. Okay? People are not tied to their computers. Life is lifing. People are having to go back to the offices. Kids are back in school. They got after school activities, before school activities. You got doctor's appointments. You have all of the things that are going on. Okay? Conferences that used to be 100% in person are now adding bonus sessions. They're adding trainings and virtual sessions. So even the things that are outside are now adding a hybrid effect to make sure that you show up after you've bought your ticket. Because again, life be lifing, okay? These extras make people feel like insiders. They make them feel like they're a part of the party, like they've been invited, and they add immediate value, okay? They drive for higher show-up rates. Remember, there's a path to yes. Yes, they sign up. Then yes, they have to show up. So experiences help to improve your show-up rate. This same principle can be applied to your launches. Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example here. I have an event that's coming up. It's called the CEO's Table Wine, Dine, Streamline. It's not just a dinner. It's a curated, intimate, exclusive event. Okay? It allows high-level CEOs to sit together, share wine, share strategy, and feel the transformation before an offer is even made. They get a taste of me and what I offer to them before I even say, this is what I'm offering to you. They get to see how they can tell me something about their business and I can say, this is what you should do. I can provide them some strategy before we even get to the offer of, this is how you can work with me and we can strategize on a long-term basis, on a short-term basis to prepare for an event. Okay? The event already has a wait list. That's how you create anticipation. That's how a well-crafted experience is created. Okay? So what's your actionable strategy? Your actionable strategy is to decide on one live or interactive element to include in your next launch event. It doesn't have to be a massive production. It could be a focused webinar where you teach a framework, or a small CEO roundtable where you facilitate strategy, or a curated dinner where networking is just as valuable as the content. The format doesn't matter as much as the feeling that it creates. Is that making sense? If that's making sense, drop experience in the chat. You want to make sure that you give people an experience they will remember, and they'll be more likely to buy into what happens next. All right? I hope that's making sense. Okay. And if you're watching the replay, make sure that you drop hashtag replay in the chat. And if you're catching this on social media, make sure that you go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we know that some platforms remove videos after 30 days, and you want to make sure that you're still able to get this. Okay. All right. So let's jump right into point number 3. All right. So far what we've covered, let's just do a recap real quick, is that we have 4 points that we're going to talk about today. The first was about cadence, setting a rhythm, making sure that your audience is aware of what's going on, and being able to create teaser touch points so that you can increase your yeses. The second is knowing that experience is everything. Whether it's virtual or it's face-to-face, you want to make sure that you're creating experience. All right. So moving right in, the third is layer your reveal. Okay. Part of the reason that Cardi B's launch worked so well is because she layered it. First, she had some singles. Then she had some features on it. Then there was the entire track list. Okay. Each stage built buzz. By the time you go ahead and you add the fact that she had that whole trial going on, she had the whole thing where we were all played, where she pulled the stuff out of her shirt, and then to come to find out just a week or so later that she actually is pregnant. Okay. She was able to create that buzz. The problem is that most CEOs go from silent to selling overnight. Okay. And part of that is because, and I'm guilty of this, a lot of us have been conditioned to move in silence. Let your results speak for you. But remember, people don't buy just your service or your product. People buy the experience. People buy you. People want to get to know you. So you have to shift your mindset. And I'm not telling you something that I wasn't willing to do myself. You have to shift your mindset, and you have to be able to show up and allow people to get to know you. We often talk about the know, like, trust factor. Okay. That's only one piece of the puzzle, though. Okay. Not only do you have to be creating this know, like, trust factor, but more importantly, how does your audience see it? Your audience needs to know that you see them, that you understand their problem, and that you want to help them. Maybe if you had started out when coaching was just started, when this was just getting started, but now there are so many people out here, you cannot just base your business off transactions only. You have to be willing to build relationships. That's what layering means. It means that we're building a relationship. Okay. We're getting to know each other. Then I'm finding out what you do. You're finding out what I do. We're growing together into this thing that is a business relationship. And that's what makes people want to buy. Okay. Many launches flop because you just want to go from, hi, this is what I got. Want to buy it? How many times have you been on social media and somebody sends you a friend request, and the next thing you know, they're in your DMs and they're, okay, so I want you to buy this. That doesn't feel good. You need to be able to build that, to be able to cultivate that relationship. Okay. And then I've been talking about this path of yeses. So let's just jump into this a little bit deeper right here. First, you're going to get them to register. Okay. That's your first yes. Then you need to get them to show up. That's your second yes. Then once they show up, you need to give them so much value that they say yes to seeing the solution differently. They say yes to seeing what your version of the solution is and the fact that you're the one who's offering it. That's what leads them to the fourth yes, which is converting to buying, to investing. And then there's still another yes, because what we will find, especially with low ticket offers and digital products, is that people say yes, but are they committed to it? How many of us have a drawer full or a computer full of $97 and less offers where you say, I'm going to get around to it one day, and you never get around to it? That's that yes to committing. Okay, so there's a path of yeses. There's at least 5 yeses. To recap those is register, show up, see and listen to the solution that you have to offer differently, investing or converting, and then committing and seeing it through. Okay, so let me bring this to life for you. Okay, so for one client's launch, we started with newsletters that highlighted the problem that her program solved. Okay, then we added an email sequence. This email sequence gave practical, actionable tips, things that they could put in place way before they even came to the event. Next, we engaged her warmest leads, those people who were her real ideal client, who had showed an interest that she had been able to build a relationship with. We sent them direct messages on their platform of choice, okay? After that, then we layered in the live videos. This helped to build a deeper sense of trust. And finally, we wrapped it all up with a mini class that tied in and transitioned to her offer. Every step built upon the one that preceded it, so that by the time she opened her cart, her audience had already walked that entire path of yeses. They weren't just interested, they were ready to commit. Okay? So what's your actionable strategy for point number 3, being able to layer your reveal? Write your reveal sequence. I just laid it out for you how one client did it. I laid it out for you for what Cardi B did. Write out your reveal sequence. Think about it as building stairs. You start at the bottom and you get up a step. Then you can go ahead and build the next step. You build the steps as you go up. You cannot start from the top and build down. There's no foundation for the steps to stand on. You have to go up. This is the same thing that you need to do with your offer. What is your first step? What is your second step? What's the final reveal that makes your audience say yes to committing? When you map this out, you actually turn curiosity into conversion. Okay? All right. So let's move right into our 4th point, because I want to make sure that, you get this all and you still have time to do all of the things that you need to do, because I know some of you are doing this on your lunch break today. Okay? You want to leverage your greatest hits. All right. Cardi B not only had new songs, but she went back and put a couple of her old songs on this new album, because they're already proven to have worked. They're already proven successes. She didn't ignore her hits. She leveraged them. As CEOs, we need to do the very same thing. We need to leverage our past successes. Okay, your past results, testimonials, your framework. These are your greatest hits. Don't bury them. Put them out front and center. I used to love to watch Designing Women when I was little with my mom. I don't know. I think that I had a little Julius Sugarbaker in me, but it'll be all right. But she used to say, we don't hide our crazy. We just sit them out on the front porch. Leverage your successes. Put it right out on the front porch. One of my clients, LaShawn, she did this brilliantly. When I say brilliantly, she did this brilliantly. What she did is she had a coaching program. And the way she set it up is that when it was time for that cohort to graduate, she used their graduation ceremony as a kickoff for her next event, her next launch. So people who were interested, people who were on her wait list, people who were her ideal client, she sent an invitation for them to be able to virtually attend the graduation ceremony of the people who had just come through her program. She also interviewed past clients. She let them share their experience in their own words. Oftentimes what we do is we get so caught up. We love what we do. We get caught up in the how. Nobody cares about the how. People want to know what's in it for them. So when you allow your past clients to be able to express it in their own words, they're speaking in the language of the people who are looking at it and want it. Sometimes we don't speak in that same language unless you've conditioned your mind to do so. So by having her past clients speak to their experience, it spoke to the pain points. It spoke to the solution. It spoke in a language that those people who were standing at the door trying to decide what they wanted to do next understood and believed in. Okay? That kind of proof, it created momentum and trust that no amount of paid ads could ever deliver. Okay? I'm not knocking paid ads. Paid ads are wonderful, especially if you know how to do it and you figured it out and your system works. If not, say, I need some help with that. I got somebody that can help with that. Okay. But she was able to organically be able to say, this is what I do and this is how I do it, and get people to step into the room. Okay. So what is your actionable strategy, your actionable tip around leveraging your hits? I want you to identify three pieces of proof that you will showcase in your next launch. Pick your strongest testimonials, case studies, or your actual framework. Pick a point from that and make it the star of your campaign. Okay? So I want you to do that. All right? So this is what I want you to take away from today. All right? Because we're getting ready to wrap this up. First of all, cadence creates anticipation. Everybody likes a rhythm, okay? How many times have you noticed that you will know the beat to a song before you know the words, okay? We all are, especially I'm a 70s baby, so we all are a product of that's my jam. Before the words even start, it's the beat, it's the music, okay? So you want to create that so that your clients, your future clients, get so used to it that they want to know, they're waiting for the words of the song to start. Okay. Experience builds trust. You have to be able to show people that you know what you're doing. Okay. You have to be able to create an experience for them. It's a feeling that they feel. What's that saying? If you can make them cry, you can make them buy. Yeah. If you can make me happy, I'm going to get my purse out. Okay. So you want to create an experience. How can you take what you do and make it an entire experience? That's what builds trust. That's what makes people want to buy. 3, layer to get attention. Don't just pop out on the scene and be like, hey, it's me. Make sure that you're showing up consistently. And I say this time and time again, consistency does not mean constantly. Now, if social media is your thing and you love to be out there and you love to post, you do that. But if you like me and sometimes you like, oh my goodness, make sure that what you do is consistent. Make sure that you post 3 times a week. You post on the same days, about the same time. Consistency is better than ebbs and waves. You post good for 3 weeks and then you're missing for 4 months. And then you post good for 2 weeks and then you're missing for 2 months. Create a consistent rhythm that you can stick with. And once you create that consistent rhythm, that's how you're going to create those layers that are going to make sure that you continue to capture people's attention. Okay? And last but not least, and I think this is my favorite, your greatest hits are going to reinforce your credibility and position you as an authority. They're going to make sure that you're top of mind, even if what you have isn't the sexiest offer, even if what you have isn't what they need right now, but it's going to keep you top of mind. Let me tell you this, launches still work. They're not dead. They just have to be designed with intention. Okay? But let me be very clear. Knowing these strategies and executing them are 2 completely different things. Knowing what you need to do and being able to do it, that's completely different. What they say, knowledge is power. Yeah, but activation is how you get results. Okay? You don't need to keep guessing. You don't need to keep patching together what worked for somebody else. Don't take somebody else's testimony and make that your action plan. I'm going to say that again. Don't take somebody else's testimony and make that your action plan. What you need is to get clarity around what the gaps are around your launch and create a plan that shows you how to fix it before you launch again. That is exactly why I created my launch readiness diagnostic. And so I invite you, it won't take you more than 60 seconds. I invite you to take it, because what you're going to be able to do is pinpoint exactly where your launch is strong and where it's weak. You're going to get clear on what's holding you back from consistent conversions. Okay? Being able to have more people invest on a regular basis. And it's also going to allow you to walk away with a customized plan that you can use to get launch ready right now today. Okay? So look in the chat or look in the link and make sure that you take that diagnostic. Again, it probably takes you about 60 seconds. It's just a few questions. What I want you to do is imagine going into your next event with confidence instead of confusion. Imagine knowing that your emails, your posts, your client stories, your experience, your proof, all of it is working together to secure your bag. That's what this diagnostic will unlock for you. Some of you are like, you know what, Yolanda, I'm going to do the diagnostic, but I already know that this is what I need. In that case, book a call, because Black Friday is coming up. The fourth quarter is coming up. You don't want to be left behind. Okay? You don't want to be left behind. I want you to be so prepared in 2025 that in 2026, all you have to do is rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I don't want you to still be trying to fix things and figure out what went wrong. Okay? So again, today we have talked about the fact that launches are not dead. You just need to make sure that you're not taking someone else's testimony and making that your launch plan. You have to be very strategic about what it is that you do. Your plan needs to be customized for you, your business, your offer, and your business goals. Okay? I'm here to help you with that. So make sure that you take the launch readiness diagnostic. And if you know that you're ready, book a call today. Okay? Let's get things in place. Let me help you take your to-do list and turn it into a done-for-you list so you're ready for your next launch. Thank you for joining me again here today. I'm Yolanda Churchwell, the CEO's Fractional COO, owner of The Bag, where we help our clients get the bag so that they can secure their bag. And I want to thank you for being here. And make sure, if this was good to you, make sure that you drop the word value in the chat. And also share it with somebody who you know may be going through something. Because let me tell you, one of the biggest things that has helped me in 2025 is being in a group of women who are also business owners, and we hold each other accountable. Okay? So make sure that you share this. Sharing is caring. All right? And I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.